Barry, and welcome to another one-take video for Transformation Advisor. Today we're going to look at a new feature in Transformation Advisor called Modernization Guidance, which is part of Transformation Advisor 3.7. I'm going to jump straight in. So I already have preloaded some demo data, and in this data set, we have a whole series of applications. What Transformation Advisor 3.7 offers you up in this right-hand corner is guidance. And what this is going to do is it's going to provide you with a sequence to tackle your whole modernization in. So if you want to do a statewide modernization, the guidance is going to say start here, work all the way through it. And the goal of the guidance is to make sure that for as little effort as possible, you get as many applications modernized and ready for modernization. So what that really means is that as you move to Liberty, you're going to need to configure them, you're going to need to test those applications. It's not all about the development effort. And what guidance is going to do is it's going to tell you the sequence that you should do it in. So the first section you're going to see, so here you've got your modernization guidance. My target is Webster Liberty. This may look slightly different depending on your target. So the first thing is we give you your simple applications up front. And here's what's important about simple applications is they're ready right now to be deployed, in this case, the Webster Liberty, without any code changes. That means you don't need access to the source code to modernize these applications. Simple applications can be deployed and configured in any order. So here we list them alphabetically. I can see capitals first. But the thing here is that because they don't impact each other, you can do them in whatever order is relevant for you, the most important, the smallest, the one you've best access to, whatever it is. The key thing about the simple applications is that they're ready right now. You can deploy them to Liberty. You can get them in a container, get your image, you can configure it, and you can test it using all the accelerators Transformation Advisor. But what it means is you don't have to wait for code changes to be made and ears and war files to be rebuilt. They're ready right now to go to be tested for modernization. And for each of these applications, if you want to find out more details about them, you can just click in and the application and all its details are going to pop up. A quick note there is you're going to see some of informational issues. Informational issues, we recommend that you don't need to do anything with them, but during testing, if you're seeing unusual behavior, have a look through them. They might indicate where something has changed and maybe you need to do something slightly differently or be aware of what's happened so you can decide whether it's acceptable or not. So that's our simple application section. Then we go into our moderate applications. So the thing about moderate applications is you need to make changes, so you do need access to the source code. So they're going to require source code changes before they're ready to be deployed to their target runtime. We strongly recommend that you modernize them in the order listed below. And the reason for that is because common code modernized in each step will be reused in later steps. So what we have here is we have a list of applications. And what we've looked at is how easy is it to modernize this application and how many other applications will it help when you do so. And that's what you see across this jar. So for roller UI.ear, there's one jar to be modernized. It's not going to reuse any common code that's already been modernized because we haven't modernized anything yet. And it's going to help one application. So what we do here as well is that we break down what you're modernizing into your units of modernization, which is the jar, but then we roll them up into what you're actually going to be testing, which is the application. So roller UI.ear, we can see here has one jar to be modernized, rollerlib.jar, but what you'll see is that one app is made simple, roller.ear. And the reason we say it's made simple is that as you can see here, we go from moderate to simple, is because the only thing that needs to be modernized in roller.ear is rollerlib.jar. So what happens is you modernize this jar, you put it into rollerui.ear, you test it. When you're happy, you take that very same jar, you drop it into roller.ear, and now it's good to go. No more code changes required. So, and like, why do we, and you can see the next line as well as you've got, one jar being modernized and one modernized jar being reused. And you might say, well, why do we do this order? Because rollerui.ear is going to be easier than ivtapp.ear. We also have the concept of apps that can be partially modernized. So if we jump down to DayTrader EE6, what you're going to see is that these two jars need to be modernized, but if you follow the sequence above, they'll already have been modernized. And there's still one jar left here to be modernized. So what you can see over here is the moderate is partially blue. 2/3 of the units of code that need to be modernized have been done. 1/3 has not been done. So once you've modernized these applications in this order, you'll see that various applications go from being moderate to simple. And then we also have moderate applications that contain only unique code. So here they can be modernized independently of each other and in any order, but we've listed them in the order of, I suppose, the easiest to the hardest, again, to keep driving your momentum. So, what we're trying to do here is that for as little dev effort as possible, as many applications as possible from your state have been modernized and are ready to be configured and tested. And then in a section below it, you're going to see our complex applications. We push them to the bottom. They gain all the advantages of reuse of common code. But for example, here, audit.ear contains some technology that's doesn't have a direct equivalent in Liberty. So there's some additional decisions that need to be made around that. The good news is, though, when we look at it, you can see that this is, we've got the jars here to be modernized. And when you look down here, you can see that the jars that are going to be reused are the same ones up here. You can see there's a slight issue there where that hasn't hopped across onto the new line. We'll have to fix that up. But the point here being that even for complex applications, once you fix the jars they rely on, everything's going to become managed in the same way. It goes from complex to simple because you can just drop those new jars in and test them. And you can see here, for example, activity session.ear is at the bottom. It's 7 jars to be modernized and nothing else is helping it, and it's not helping anything else. So that's really the concept behind the guidance. It's going to show you very clearly what ones you can work on now immediately, don't need code changes or access to the source code, and then what ones that if you do them in a specific order, you'll see how they help other applications. That's it. Thank you very much.